has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Welcome back to the channel. This is the Fan Awakens. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope you're all staying safe out there. And so today's video is really just me giving some Netflix recommendations. I think that for the last couple days I finally got back into the act of like watching new movies every day, which I was in this rut of going back to the usual suspects of movies that I tend to watch over and over and over, which is fine. I've seen, like, I was watching The Fan Awakens over. I was watching Forrest Gump, things like Jurassic Park, which I've seen hundreds, if not, 1,000 times, which is totally cool. And I love that comfort food of movies that you can always go back to. But at the same time, I love when I do watch new movies and I can just like get lost in a new film. And I was going through Netflix, and for a while I felt like I was just, going through Netflix, and it would take me hours to find, maybe not hours, but an hour or so to decide on something to watch. I would get up, I would do something else, I'd come back. But really, I sat down and I started going through them again, and I realized how many movies there are on there that, one, I love, and two, like, I'm intrigued to watch. And so I've been watching 2-3 new movies a day, trying to do that when I have all this free time. And so I just thought today I would give some recommendations. So I have a couple movies on here, movies that I love, movies that I have watched a couple times each, and I just thought that they're kind of underseen and unnoticed, so I thought I'd give them a bit of a spotlight. So thank you guys for tuning in, and without further ado, I'll jump into the first one. Just a little thing in the beginning. These are both streaming on Netflix. One's an original. One is, they got the rights for it, and they're both in the U.S., so I'm not sure if they're streaming on other Netflix platforms in other countries, besides the original one, of course, but right now these are both on Netflix US. So the first one is going to be Molly's Game. This is the directorial debut of Aaron Sorkin, starring Jessica Chastain, Idris Elba, Kevin Costner. And basically this is about the poker princess, as they call her. She is Molly Bloom. She was set to be in the Olympics in 2002, more or less. She was going to the trials to go to the Olympics for the USA, and she suffered a really bad injury, sort of ended her skiing career. And this led her down an odd path that somehow led to LA and led to her leading this big celebrity poker game that really turned into a lot more. And there was like threats of prison, and, it really got out of hand and like grew into things that she definitely didn't know about or understand. And I don't think anyone could have expected to come out of like a big celebrity underground poker game. But the cool thing about the movie is that there's all these characters in it, and you're sort of left wondering, who are these people in real life? Who were they? Because it's based off a book Molly Bloom wrote, and there were court proceedings and different things that came along with this story, and some names came out as far as people who participated in these games, but the people whose names didn't come out, she didn't name in the book. So they don't name them in the movie either. And me being curious, I did do some research, and there are some names that popped up that may or may not have been associated in the game, or may or may not have been even represented as characters in the film. Maybe someone like Tobey Maguire. I'm not going to say whether he is or not because I don't know, but I do know that I've heard and read multiple accounts of some big names that were in these games, and I think that it certainly leaves you with a lot of like intrigue on your mind as far as what could have happened. And just imagining being a fly on the wall during these poker games must have been nuts, the amount of money that was going back and forth. And it is a true story, so there's that. So I think that if you're looking for a good true story movie, a drama, again, this is the first movie Aaron Sorkin has directed, and he's known as one of the best writers of our time by a lot of people. He wrote The Social Network, he wrote a lot of The West Wing, and I think that his writing is really transcendent because you can sort of see his DNA in all the movies he's written, along with this Molly's Game. This came out in late 2017, very limited release. I remember it came out, for Oscar consideration, but I wasn't able to see it where I live until like March 2018, when it came out to theaters for like a week. So, it was really nice to see that it came out on Netflix, very accessible. Definitely give that one a watch. And the other movie I have today is I Am Mother. This one is going to be a sci-fi thriller. Netflix original, came out 2019, stars Rose Byrne and, oh my gosh, Hilary Swank. And so basically, this is sort of like, it's a real mystery. You really don't know what's going on throughout the film. You get things unravel, the story unravels. I can't really go into the plot without spoiling anything, so I'll refrain from that, and I'll more speak on what it is exactly as far as like what you'll get from this film. It is a mystery from beginning to end. There's constant twists and turns that sort of leave you definitely engaged. It's not something that you're going to be pulling your phone out constantly. You're going to feel tense. You're going to feel on edge. And it also has a lot of, oddly enough, the movie's called I Am Mother, and Mother is this robot here you see on the poster, but it contains a lot of humanity in the film. And I think that it sort of goes through this theme that I love as far as like what makes someone human. And beyond that, it's just a great sci-fi thriller. Really big swing from Netflix, something that didn't get enough viewership. And I think that when you compare it to something else from Netflix, like say Bright, which I thought, obviously you have Will Smith, you have Joel Edgerton, orcs, and like fantasy. It's going to get a lot of viewers, but it wasn't a movie that really, I didn't connect with it. I wasn't fond of it, which if you are, that's awesome. And I don't like hating on anyone else's taste, but I will say that if you are looking for something sci-fi and something high concept and engaging and well written and well directed and all of that, and has interesting an interesting sci-fi story that I don't think we've quite seen before, I would definitely check out I Am Mother. Streaming on Netflix, should be everywhere because it's an original. So those are my 2 picks for this week. I just thought that, everybody's got a lot of free time, or not everybody, but a lot of people have more free time than usual. Even if not, you're trying to unwind after a long work day. Give one of these a watch. And so I am going to be trying to do these recommendations, hopefully like 5 days a week, maybe every weekday, maybe the weekends, who knows. But I just want to thank everybody for listening. You can follow us here on YouTube at the Fan Awakens channel. I really appreciate it. We're going to be doing giveaways at probably 50 followers, 100 followers, and so on. I have some movies to give away I've been sitting on for a while, some different things, maybe some digital codes. I have a lot of Blu-rays. And then beyond that, you can follow us on Instagram at the Fan Awakens, _fan_awakens. I appreciate that. If you give us a like and subscribe, I will really appreciate it, man. And everybody out there, I really appreciate everybody staying safe and, being cautious. And I hope that everybody's doing well. And with that, I believe that'll be the episode for today. Leave a comment. Have you seen these movies? What do you think? Don't be afraid to reach out on Instagram. I'm always game to discuss movies, whether it's these or others. But definitely, let's have a conversation about it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time.